Alright, how's it going? I'm sick as fuck right now, so let's discuss Resident Evil 4. So on March 24th of 2023, Capcom released a remade version of Resident Evil 4 for the PlayStation 5, PC, and for the Xbox Series S. This would be Capcom's fourth remake in the series, with the other ones that they've remade being... Can ya guess it? It's a pretty doozy thinker. That's right, it is in fact 1, 2, and 3. How could you've known? All of these past remakes had fine reception. One wasn't all that glorified initially because the remake happened for the GameCube, but later became a hit for the PlayStation 4. Resident Evil 2 really jump-started the whole remake craze, with it being an immediate success for the 8th generation consoles, and Resident Evil 3 was so annoyingly short that even I could last longer in bed than the game's runtime. But out of every remake Capcom has done, Resident Evil 4 is already their most successful remake, with the game selling more than 4 million copies in just 2 weeks. For a comparison, Resident Evil 7 is Capcom's best-selling game, which has sold over 11.7 million copies in total. It took Capcom 63 days to sell 3.5 million copies of that game, so the time difference between the two is completely just major. And if I gotta be honest, if Resident Evil 4's remake becomes the best-selling game of the franchise, I would be pretty happy. This remake rocked. However though, a lot has changed since the remake's release, both good and bad, so let's just take a look at it all right now. Alright, so here's a little spoiler warning for these two games, but I have to give out some sort of context. But for Resident Evil 2, Ada Wong was a prominent side character who helped a then police rookie Leon Kennedy escape from the Raccoon City Police District while also helping him kill William Birkin and Mr. X. Unfortunately though, Ada Wong dies in the second game, or at least in Leon's eyes, until 6 years later when the two meet up again in the events of Resident Evil 4. The original versions of Resident Evil 2 and 4 were both voiced by the voice actress Sally Cahill. Since I never played any of the original Resident Evil games before, I don't really have an opinion on Sally's performance, but looking at a few cutscenes just on YouTube, she does an amazing job making Ada a seductive yet deceivingly badass character. However, for the remake of Resident Evil 2, Ada was voiced by Jolene Anderson, and since I did play that game and I do have an opinion on this voice acting, I can say that Anderson did an amazing job. Ada sounds a lot more demanding of Leon than she does seductively, which really brings a great twist to this rebuild, but Anderson would only voice for the Resident Evil 2 remake, with Lily Gao voicing Ada Wong for this new release. And I'll tell you man, people fucking hated her. Gao's take on Ada Wong had a much deeper voice, while also keeping a mix between a more demanding tone and a seductive tone. But like I said, people just hated that. Some fans were demanding that Sally Cahill or Jolene Anderson reprise their roles and to cut Gao from the game, and others were straight up harassing Gao on every social media site that she was on. It got so bad that Gao had to delete almost all of her Instagram posts, with her leaving one post that she made in 2020 regarding privilege in America. And like, this is just nothing but disrespectful. If you don't like someone's voice acting on a game that you already liked beforehand, that's fine. I cannot argue whether or not you like something because that's just a subjective take and you are entitled to your own opinions. But for the love of God, just say you don't like something and then shut the fuck up. You don't need to ruin someone else's opinion on the voice acting, you don't need to act like a self-righteous dickhead about it, and you certainly do not need to harass the voice actress that you do not like. Because all in all, acting like the loudest asshole will only sour the moods of everyone around you, and quite literally nothing else. On April 7th, Capcom released the first DLC for the Resident Evil 4 remake. This DLC would be the Mercenaries, an arcade shoot-'em-up minigame that was apparent in the 2005 version, but has also been in Resident Evil 3, 6, Village, and it also has a spin-off game called the Mercenaries 3D. In this free-to-play DLC, you can play as 4 different characters, that being Leon, Luis, Krauser, and Hunk, where you have to take on an infinitely spawning wave of enemies in a set time limit. Killing these enemies by melee, headshot, or by ability will increase the time limit by however many seconds, while also giving you points. The more points you earn, the higher grade you get, and the higher grade you get, you unlock more items like new maps, characters, or guns. This is just a fun game mode to explore after beating the main game. You're not gonna get any new storyline off of playing this game mode. This is more like Resident Evil's 2 game mode where you had to survive in the gas station for as long as you can, but by God, this game mode is so replayable and so fun. Each character in this game mode will have a throwable item, some healing items, and other stuff, but will also have differing weapons. Like Leon will have a pistol with a laser sight, a shotgun, and a semi-automatic sniper. Luis will have a bolt-action rifle and a red 9. Kraus will have an explosive bow and a Tech 9. And Hunk, he's just a fucking god, but I'll discuss that a little bit later. On top of that, each character will have an ability that'll boost them in strength. Some are just boosters, others will cause you to mutate with a Plagas virus, but all will coincide with each character that you play with. On top of that, there's different power-ups and different interactable items throughout the map. These power-ups can either give you an extra 60 seconds to play with the game, or will give you a chance to use your ability altogether. And then the interactables scattered across the map are just explosive barrels, but sometimes also turrets that you could just mount and just blow up everything. It's so fun to use. The game mode is also harder than I thought it was. At first, I thought the game mode was a breeze to play with me firing upon anything I see, but the integration of harder enemies and even bosses really made this mode difficult, especially with the tight areas and the ammo depletion that happens a lot quicker than you realize. There are some, I wouldn't say issues, but weird features and cut content. For starters, the 2005 version of the Mercenaries include 2 extra playable characters, that being Ada Wong and Albert Wesker. But these 2 characters and the guns that they use are nowhere to be found when playing this DLC. However, though, people have seen both characters and extra guns in the game's files as a sort of hint implying that they will be used for a DLC in a later future. And if that's the case, then hell yeah, I don't mind not seeing Ada or Wesker if that means they'll be used for something new. Capcom is the type of company, after all, that uses their environment and characters the most they can within a game, like how they made a DLC for a piece of fucking tofu running in the sewers for Resident Evil 2. However, the other weird feature in the Mercenaries is just Hunk in general. You see, his main weapon is an SMG that'll stagger enemies upon one shot to the head. With this staggering, you can melee your enemies, which give you a chance of killing them. Little side note here, but every single character has a different melee animation except for Krauser and Leon. Crazy how Leon's own teacher taught Leon the moves that ultimately was the reason for his demise. Anyways though, I digress. Hunk's melee animation is him brutally snapping the necks of enemies, which is an insta-kill to no matter what enemy you use. Oh my god. This guy is genuinely the strongest person to ever exist in the Resident Evil timeline. Nemesis? Nah, Hunk will take him on. G? Nah, fuck no. Hunk will lay down the motherfucker in seconds. Chris Redfield punching a boulder in a volcano? Actually, that would be a matchup I'm willing to see. This feature by Hunk has been existent since the 2005 version, so this is not a bug or an overlook or anything like that. This is just a character that's essentially on easy mode, which is made up for the fact that other characters like Krauser is a lot harder with his weapon selection, so I don't mind this character at all. But like, who the fuck is Hunk? So this will be the shortest portion of the video because this controversy really just does not matter, but has gotten some fans angry regardless. Alongside the release of the Mercenaries, Capcom released some add-ons that'll let you instantly upgrade whatever weapon you want regardless of its prior upgrades. Each ticket sells for about $3 each, but you can buy bundles for $5 for whatever reason. But fans were upset about this pay-to-win addition, with some fans questioning the purpose of Professional Mode's difficulty spike. Yeah, you heard me, some fans are coming up with a theory that Professional difficulty was only made to be this difficult for pay-to-win features. And yes, if this is the plan by Capcom to sell upgrades to bypass hard segments, yes, that's scummy. But that's just speculation with no concrete evidence behind this theory, and who the fuck cares, this is a single-player mode. The argument of why pay-to-win is bad in gaming is usually seen over in multiplayer games, where some players may have the advantage to win based off of something that's not involved with the game, primarily monetarily wise, but this is a game mode that only affects you, and also, hear me out, you. Nobody else in the world. If you want to buy your way through a game, go ahead. If you don't, don't. The Professional difficulty, alongside every other game mode in this remake, is able and has been beaten, so why should you care about this? So a lot has changed in Resident Evil 4, as you all can clearly see, both good and bad. But all in all, I'm excited to see what else this game has to offer. I'm also excited to see what's next in Capcom's future with the Resident Evil franchise. I've heard some people speculate that Resident Evil 5 will get remade next, which showcases Chris Redfield and Shiva in Africa. Others have speculated Code Veronica will come next, starring Claire Redfield on Rockfort Island. Some fans are even wanting Capcom not to release a remake sometime in the near future, and instead just make a completely new Resident Evil. Which, yeah, I understand you don't want to burn out your audience by releasing the same oversaturated shit over and over again. And I wouldn't mind seeing a trilogy with the past 2 Resident Evil games, and maybe see Mia Winters one last time. But out of all the games in the franchise, I think I would be so down the most to have Resident Evil Revelations be remade, because goddamn, the scenery of a fucking abandoned yet infected cruise ship is just, oh my, I love it. I want a cruise ship horror game. That's just what I want in my life. But what do you all think is in the next Resident Evil franchise? A new remake, or maybe even a new game in general? Leave it down in the comments below. But other than that, I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys like this video, maybe hit that like button and subscribe. But other than that, I will see you all in a later video. Bye for now.